Good morning, everyone. Give a sec here. All right. So I don't know if this would be the right terminology, but we've got mini, mini golden crosses. I just made that up. I don't know if any it's referred to that way, but as we look at different markets, we've got the 20 crossing above the 50 here. And down here, yes, that was a bearish one. Uh, Practically, well, just before the low. So I point that out as an example why moving average crossovers can whipsaw you to death. If a trend does develop, things look miraculous, just based on a moving average crossover. But trends develop for other reasons and that need to be aware of. So we've got the S&Ps that have improved. Now we've got about a week, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We cut the wide range bar. We've got 6 closing prices in the proximity of the same area, give or take a little ups and downs. Market's been consolidating easily. You can see that on the hourly chart, the whips ups and downs. It's been running in place, waiting for whatever. Maybe NVIDIA today, which is up pre-market. FOMC minutes today. That is not a big deal. And let's take a look at other markets. So look, the bottom of the range, top of the range. Maybe you can take out the top of the range a little bit today. Probably doesn't go too far, just based on waiting for news. And the video comes out after the close, but maybe that helps lift things a little bit more. Price extended. We covered our market internals, gave us a heads up for risk for longs increasing last week, and that continues. As we always say, it's never something that gives us information to expect something to happen as soon as these internals reach an extreme. Sometimes it happens, not too often, but not too often does that happen. So as this is building a base, clearly this becomes an important line in the sand in whatever markets you're looking at, since it's consolidating, because it implies a move higher. And we don't rule that out, but a move higher would probably reinforce the fact that risk is increasing. And we see different, what we call accidents happening around the markets, certain things getting clobbered, which often is the case when internals reach an extreme. Right now, markets are just running in place, not going anywhere. And looking at the NASDAQ futures, you can see the same thing, little mini cross above there, right there. They crossed right at the low. So don't use moving averages as signals to decide to put on a position. It's always based on price. So new highs cleared here, and depending on what NVIDIA does, maybe you could get a spurt up here, but we'll see. Or break down below if it's disappointing. YM, same little mini golden cross there. It hasn't, the futures haven't made a new high, but the Dow has. I'll get to that. The Russell, same little cross there, consolidating sideways at resistance, just a big mess, whipping back and forth, back and forth. Nothing really going on for a week. The Dow did make new all-time highs, stuck there at 40,000. It's got a void below. There's your cross. There was a downside cross right at the bottom. And maybe this cross is going to be right near the top. We'll see as time goes on what actually happens. We had a reversal day 2 days ago. So far, no big deal. While we could call it a 1, 2, 3, a wide range bar and inside bar, it's not the kind of 1, 2, 3 that we would trade because the trend is up. So let's see what happens from here. Does it turn into a red bar ignored? Does it break lower? And Time will tell. Transports tell another story. Not a good one. Yesterday was a big wide range bar down as many of the transports began to fall. Rails, truckers pointed this out at the beginning of the week. That breakdown that occurred, not a good sign. Rails, going down, and sometimes, greater than 100% retracement. What we could look for here, I don't know if it'll happen, if it begins to stabilize after a greater than 100% retracement, where we would recognize the momentum stalling. I explained that. I think we talked about that yesterday, where it makes a lower low and then begins to stabilize, but slowing momentum. I don't know if that'll happen. There is some minor support there, and you can see these overlapping bars right here. There is some support down there at 32. Bitcoin, we had a great move there. It stalled and right up near those pivot highs resistance. So we'll see how it deals with that. We pointed this out way back here. Maybe it's bottoming, maybe it's a head and shoulders top, and then we got the signal and we had a nice trade there. Of course, the Ethereum on the news of a potential ETF, which how can they say no after they gave it for Bitcoin, the GBTC? But that had a blast off run. So he participated in that. Congratulations. It was amazing, an amazing move. We gave everyone a heads up, the potential of what was coming. Hopefully you did. Yeah, Dan will cover the FCX, which is down, but copper is having a bit of a hiccup here. Not sure why. I did notice, looking at economic reports, I don't know if it's related to this, but I noticed that Great Britain reported an increase in inflation. So maybe little worries because of that. Time will tell. Interest rates. We talked about this uptrend against this downtrend for the last couple of weeks, and discussed, would this possibly begin to make a turn in this area? Again, support, uptrend, normal pullback for a move like that, a momentum move. And typically when you get this kind of a momentum move, there's some follow through, whether it can make a new high, which clearly wouldn't be good. The markets would be going down if that happened, because that's just the relationship that it's been. But right now it's in a turn, beginnings of a turn. So this is still trending down. It's on this minor support. It's at this moving averages. It's turning up. It's coming into some resistance, and we'll see into the end of the week whether this comes up here to tag the 20, or whether it goes sideways here, or whatever it's going to do. But right now you want to be aware of, this is beginning to make a turn here, and that lining up with our internals, that'll give us a heads up. So we'd have that intermarket confirmation along with our market internals, and then price has to give us the confirmation. So when we refer to techno fundamentals here, this is what we're talking about. Market internals, intermarket analysis, and then eventually, does price confirm what the other two are telling us? And time will tell. And you can see interest rates are up here a little bit. So far, markets are just kind of down a little bit, not really moving too much. So not a big deal either way for the moment. See how that unfolds. Gold taking a little bit of a rest. We talked about this bottoming pattern here. It's moved up to resistance. Just basic look to the left. It's at resistance. There's going to be a stall there. There's going to be some sellers there. How much does it correct from here? So far, it looks like it's beginning to make a bull flag. And not sure yet. It's in development mode, but so far, strong move up. So far, it's consolidating. Looks pretty good. Silver outperformed, made a huge move. Great big momentum move. Needs to do a little rest, but strength, a little extended. Should be able to go higher. Cleared those highs over there, so it looks pretty darn good. So we'll take a look at the ETF here, just to see if there's some resistance there. Yeah, so greater than 100% retracement. So we always think, okay, momentum's going to stall after that, but nice bottom. That looks like it's going higher. And money going into silver and gold. Why? I think because of the uncertainty of all the money that's being printed here in the US, that maybe that day of reckoning is ahead. We'll see. Crude oil can't get out of its own way here. It's still back and forth, back and forth. Nothing to do there. Actually, most of where we look, there's nothing to do. We're finding some trades, but they're fewer than what they were, which is normal in a situation like this. We talked about this bottoming USO, and does it make a head and shoulders bottom? So what we're looking for, into maybe the end of this week, next week, would be what or how many of these relationships might come together. So the internals are telling us to be careful. Everything else so far isn't lined up. So if this was to potentially, let's just assume this makes a head and shoulders bottom and oil starts to advance. Right? The unknown right now. Interest rates make the turn and start to move up here. We look at the dollar, which is showing a little strength here, similar to the interest rates. And this was some dividend, I don't know what it was, some adjustment here. It's terrible that they couldn't fix this or wouldn't fix it, but this is actually up here and the dollar's pulling back. And similarly, some type of stabilization going on here. It's gapping up this morning into resistance. So it's unlikely they'll go very far. The euro, starting to pull back. It's at resistance. So it makes sense. The pound still strong. Got through this resistance. So maybe that goes higher, but beginning of a topping tail forming here. Yen, remember here, government came in to protect it. It was heading into the abyss. It's just stabilizing. And Australia, which typically does well when commodities are doing better. And look at the comeback here after that move down under those pivots and pulling back through some support up here, pushing above the recent highs. So if oil starts to go up, and repeating, interest rates, we have our internals, these commodities start to push higher. Things start to come together to reinforce the idea that at least some type of corrective process is likely to unfold. Yep. Counting the spiders. SPX. Spiders doing nothing. A little bitty gap down there. Yesterday was an up day. So a new little closing high within this range, not a big deal. SPX, things moved up a little bit with that move up. Neither strike got hit yesterday. So things are where they are. Unlikely they're going to move up here today. remember 2 o'clock is the FOMC minutes. Unlikely they're going to be saying anything new. So what's going to move the markets today? I'm not sure. Nvidia's not until after the close. Um, so it's kind of just a wait and see as to that. And yeah, uh, financials, held up okay, but there was the shot across the bow with that wide range bar down, so some damage done. So we're kind of in holding mode as far as the broader markets go, and we'll just continue to do our thing intraday, looking for what setups are provided to us, and wait for this more information to see where things are going to go. To you, Dan.
Morning. Greg, I want to say something I didn't want to interrupt you, but something very interesting on this ether trade that we nailed for our bottoming pattern for our subscribers in the ETF letter and related stocks. We're still in, what is it, Maro, Hood, etc., GBTC. But do you remember I don't know if you do remember, so I'm going to refresh your memory. There was somebody in the green room when we were talking about buying this, and they were vehement saying, don't buy that. It's manipulated. It's doesn't reflect spot. They're going on and on. And so I said, all right, well, thank you for the information, but we trade technicals, so we're going to trade it. And so there you have it. Doesn't mean, couldn't gap down against us for some fraud revelation, I don't know. But we trust our technical approach so much that there you have it. All right, let me go through alarms. We'll look at a couple earnings. Reezy. That's a little bull flag buy setup. Now, the only thing that would make it better, Raul, is if you did not have this wall of resistance. But how did it get there? It got there from a bullish gap from a W bottom. Remember our retracement, 80% into that? Now, from here to here, that's a 20% retracement. So that's bullish. So I don't think it's going to go through that, like a bullet, but it does suggest a slow grind through that. So that looks good. Had our gold alarm go off, but I didn't see any prints. So we'll come back to that at the open. I'm watching it, FCX. This 180 reversal, we bought call options for like $1.72. And so this is actually it's a gap against us. I can't deny that fact. So I said move stop 30-minute low. But it's a good example of the benefit of call options, leverage, and limited risk. If we bought the stock, we calculate for a $300 max loss for position sizing. The call option, we also positioned for $300 loss, so that only allowed us to buy one contract, which cost us $172, not the 300. So the loss, even with the gap down, is going to be significantly less. And today, by the way, MT Live, we're talking about shorting options as an income trade. We love buying them when they're liquid as directional trades, and we love selling them as at turning points, just collecting the premium. All right, Wilt, I had an alarm go off, but I don't see any movement here. But this is a great 1, 2, 3 and a strong stock. Look, great moving average analysis here. You know, you could take the bars off, right? You know, it's in an uptrend. It got short-term extended. Now it was a pullback in an intermediate uptrend. And now this is telling me, you know, look at the candles and it's, you know, ready to resume like a breakout. So this, you know, even when the market's extended, we're very selective with new trades. So that looks great. Let's go to earnings trades now. PDD 153. So you know, you all know me by now. My bias is 30-minute low, short a call spread for Friday. That's a short-term exhaustion gap. Oh, Don, you know what? My Zulu Sierra alarm went off this morning, even though we got out yesterday. We had a put spread on this, and it had a ugly pullback yesterday on the PAN-W. And look at this, folks. We got out either break even or a small profit on this bounce. And now it's gapping under yesterday's low. So that's an example of how we, you know, manage our short options. You've got you know, you've got gap risks, so we manage them with the charts. So that, yeah, that was excellent management. TJX was down earlier, now it's up. That's a bullish pre-market. This is you know, my trade station starts at 8 a.m. Eastern. So a gap and a wide range of nighting, a 1, 2, 3 breaking out right now. That is a put spread candidate. Looks great. Oh, this SPWR, I just sent the telegram. I've been watching this for a while. My alarm, you know, went off pre-market here at 290. So I don't, it's not earnings. Earnings are 730. Have no idea what's getting this moving. But this is a beautiful gap candidate this morning. It's gapping up from a buy setup with a void. So I have that in the middle chart here. Looks great. We just got to now monitor it on the 5-minute chart and work an entry. A big old gap, ADI. Wow, Alex, I remember, weren't we buying this ADI right here on this 1, 2, 3? If my memory's right. But this one, just like PDD, to me, is a 30-minute low call spread candidate. So I'll put that in the window. Target. Wow. Okay, so Target is acting totally different than TJ Maxx today. So TJ Maxx is bullish. You know, Target's a real company, and look, it's close to this 200. Putting that on a watch list. That, and it's a big ugly gap, but it's an excessive one. And so I want to see where, you know, buyers want to step up. So that's a put spread candidate, 30-minute high. IG, you mentioned this one. This is a bull flag and a strong uptrend, but what the heck are you going to do with it now? But I mean, tell me what your bias is, because I have zero bias right now. The gap's too big. All right, Sierra Mike gapping down a little bit, no pattern, zips, slopping around, no pattern, no interest. I'll delete you, Delta Yankee, 170. That's a big old bullish gap, but nothing to do with it. Yeah, exactly. Right. I would too. All right, here's a bearish gap. Could be a call spread idea. GDS, bullish gap, but no good pattern. Evo opening fairly flat, a dog, flab. That's an ugly gap. That's an ugly gap. Come back to it. LPG gapping down 43.50. Call spread candidate. If there's any juice. Rex, no pattern. Kilo Charlie. It's a bullish gap, but range bound, no interest. Look at this PDD already selling off here. That's when I said it's a call spread candidate, along with ADI. But notice ADI, I put it in my other chart, is holding extremely well pre-market. See the difference pre-market ADI versus PDD. So that alone to me says this is a better call spread candidate, but it's selling off so much now, it's not an exhaustion gap per se anymore. So the sell-off rate pre-market might be ruining my call spread idea. Wow, look at all right, TJX now is accelerating too high. Now it's up here at 102. So that pre-market acceleration is ruining my setup. It's a bullish gap, but I don't generally like things that run this far, this fast, gap and resistance. Whitney, I see one print up here, 850. I don't like overlapping bars like this. But if it does take out 30-minute high, it could conceivably go to a 200. Clico, gapping down. I don't like those overlapping bars. YSG, a gap down. This could be a 30-minute low. Gapping right under all this topping pattern with this big old void. You know, it's a $4 stock, but that's a great pattern for 5, 10, 15-minute low. That looks good. And that looks like garbage. All right, so those are all the earnings stocks. Let's see what alarms I have going on. Greg, remember my discussion yesterday on Iridium? Darn it, my low alarm went off. But, you know, we talked about our ADI coming in, but I don't do anything in the first 5 minutes. It's actually not as climactic as I thought based on, you know, this consolidation. So I would not rush into that as a call spread idea yet, particularly with NVIDIA tick negative 900.
Sienna moving up. That might get going here. Not a bad pattern.
Which one? Who?
Sienna.
I don't understand that. Can you?
CIEN.
Yeah, consolidation gap, sure. All right, I'm gonna get rid of PDD. Put Sienna there. Yeah, that looks good. And Don or Aichi. Yeah, this looks good. I'm not going to rush into it, but yeah, let's see how it stabilizes. So look at this SPWR going. All right, so I'm going to get rid of TJX. I'll put power.
Alcoa gap down pretty good.
Put power over there. Breeze alarm. Nothing to do right now, but another bottoming pattern. I'll reset the alarm 4320. Q's holding up the best here. ASO low alarm, Greg. That's yours. Nice weakness there. Look at that dog. Set new alarms. And then after 10 a.m., We can move the stop to today's high. We're just in trail mode. That actually, we put in the trade review that came out this morning. All right, breeze, new alarm.
Gapped up from a big red bar.
Just slow alarm. Shoot, that's disappointing. Not good. That was an early alarm, but not looking good. Yeah, shop. Yeah. Shop's on my list. I didn't get to it. I got an upgrade. Look, it's right here. I almost got to it. Yeah, I think Goldman gave him an upgrade, which I actually respect because, I always make fun of these idiots when they give an upgrade when it's a climactic sell setup. At least they're given an upgrade as bottom fishing. So yeah, let's keep an eye on shop. I'll put that in a window. All right. Our gold did gap down a little, but our stop is under there, so nothing to do right now. FCX, I moved it 30-minute low. That's still the plan for now. What's oil? Yeah, oil's down here. I don't think we did anything. And, well, that's not true. We're in XOM. Um, let's see where that stop is. This is our only oil stock, and we have long calls. The stop is 116.07, so it's a big stop under that bottoming tail. That's why my alarm didn't go off yet. All right, so oil's not good. SPWR, it's too wild, but yeah, you see it here in my middle chart. Puerto Rico alarm, nice. Puerto Rico. We did a bear 1, 2, 3. I said you could add under that green bar. Now we got a logical stop over this base 1632. General Motors low alarm. We have a covered call. And you've been a dog. All right. Yeah, Puerto Rico looks great. PPL, we still have half lot of short puts. Yeah, see, it does look great. It's just the same caution. Um, yeah, it did. Same caution about it, I think they're gonna need market home. Yeah, 42.26, what's the stop? Yeah. But we only had a third left. So I think we managed that excellent in retrospect, particularly with today's gap. I was thinking about selling the last third in the strength, but that's always a decision. You want to, the only reason you don't close the last third is stating the obvious. You're holding on for a little for bigger gains. But no, we managed this one very well. All right, so 44.26. Eight 43 20. Made over $4 for a little swing trade. I'm taking. That's what swinging's all about. Actually, I'm stopped. That whole base. You bad boy. We've been in that since we've been in that almost an entire month. And it's been dead money. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, you got a void there. It's a bullish 15. Not bad. All right. I set new alarm. ASO, new alarm. Breeze, I set new alarm. Gold, we have break even stop. 1765. All right, so that gap under open. All right, this gap under our stop. So let's just move stop low now, 1746. All right, Q's breakout failure on the 5-minute, topping tail on the 15. So things are a mess here. Hourlies are still bullish, but I'm wondering if it's going to be slop, like the market kind of viewing the video, like the Fed announcement. New alarms on gold. Our goal, I think we only have a third left also. And it's hanging in that last third by a hair. Wow, it held the stop 2 days in a row by a dime. You know what, Alex? Here's a great example. You know how I use that 2 cent, rule, if it, the stop's spot 80, I'll go 2 cents under. If it's an expensive stock, like over $100, I give it an extra dime. So the stop on this is 131.08. So we would have been stopped, I think, to the penny had I made it 18. And that extra dime so far saved us twice. No, the verdict will tell. Greg, you didn't mention Square. Square just nosedived.
Mentioned it yesterday.
I know you did. We had talked about it, but now we got to take some money. We're in it. All right, let's since daily, weekly look bearish, let's only cover a third. On lockdown? What the heck does that mean? Mm, 67.50. If it hits 67.50, then I'll move stop days high. Up alarm 71. Oh, 753 is 100 days high. Never mind. Okay. Yeah, CN is holding well for directional and put spread. Directional 48. I'm sorry, put spread 48.50. There are no 48.50s. They only have June's, which would be over earnings, so we can't do that. But yeah, looks great. Let's see that this is what Greg and I were been saying on types of patterns that we would consider. This one's close to support and into the 20 MA. So let's see if we can get let's see if we can buy a half lot on a pullback. How about, I'm just eyeballing it here, 49.70. Gold up alarm, so that means we're out break even. Yeah, hold on. Shop is doing well too. I'm watching it on a 15. So yesterday's low 48.57. Oh, Don, I'm reading your question now. Simple, simple. I say it over and over and over again. It's still a buy setup with a void, correct? And a potent reversal. Yes. So the answer is, I always say, it's tradable, but you just don't look for a new high. But now the retracement and chaotic trading this morning, I have no interest in it anymore. This would be nice if it closed like this and then we get through NVIDIA. Oh, wow, yeah, that was a gap and go. I think I said target 200 MA. I think I did. 6. It's a buy setup, but you got overlapping bars and tails, so it's not quality for a swing. All right, Breeze. I think Greg, need to wait for the close on this one. All right, Shop is moving. This will be a great put spread because it's been selling off. And so therefore the premium should be jacked. 9 cents for the 57s. I was wrong there. And only 38 for next week. So that's not even meeting my 1% test. Shoot. So it has to be a directional if on the time frame that you're interested in. But it's a beautiful pattern for a put spread. ISRG. Yep. I remember you gave that to me the other day. It looked good. Yeah, that thing lasted. All right, I think I got all alerts now. All right, Iridium. Let's now move stop days low. 30.55. We only have one open trade in the weekly, Greg, so they need some love. We just have that GME. GME going nowhere, but our put spread is fine, 16.5. Shoot, XOM low alarm. So yeah, oil's tanking here. So let me get the price to close out those calls. All right, our $0.09. $20. All right, I'm just gonna tighten this up on this. All right, let me look. SPWR. Depends how aggressive you are. If you wanted in it done based on the daily, then yes, this 5-minute turn is the logical place to do it. I agree. Excellent. And let's see, let me stop this out. We have the 117 calls. Stopped at 117. $0.50. So that, like, it was a loss, but less loss than trading stock. That's XES is coming in too, obviously. All right, Starbucks. That's a nice continuation pattern. For a dog bounce, but that's a nice pattern. Because compare that to CVS. See that this one still did. So the A/B test, CVS versus Starbucks is superior. All right, let me go through opens now. Tesla, cost, Square. Let me put Square here. We're gonna keep an eye on this one to take profits. All right, our gold we talked about. We have a third left. Amarex has been dead money. ASO, let me move the stop. Yesterday's high, 53.78. I was just looking at that on the other computer. But not doing anything with the video. But let's put it on the list for tomorrow as a go-to if semis are bullish. CCL stuff 1530 and the puts, the naked puts we have. Cough. All right, this. Oh no, we're short stuck. No, we're short stuck on this. This is the one we were saying, but it was a nice bearish 1, 2, 3, but the sector was bullish. DD. Sam's girlfriend named Didi. Let's move stop days low, 78.61.